Welcome to Survive, Strive, and Thrive. Gaining confidence, skills, and attitudes for rearing healthy, positive children. My name is Elizabeth Ranchín Cartagena, and I work for K-State University at the Extension in Central County. So we're going to start as one of the exercise that we do for relaxation. We're going to see different emotions in this picture. And so what is your energy spark today? Recognizing how we feel in the moment help us to acknowledge that and tells you if you're ready to face a situation that will take you a lot of energy. And if you are all energized, then you will be better handling that situation than not having that energy. So the first one is you feel powerful. The second one is relaxed. Number 3 is, wow, I would like to get off this place or go someplace. Number 4, I'm really, really mad about the situation. Number 5 is kind of like, I'm annoyed. But number 6 is you have inhaled, really laugh, and you are so happy. And number 7, you're proud of your accomplishments. We're going to start a review of why children misbehave. That was the last part of our previous video. Because we have seen those faces. Why? So we shared last time that we have 6 basic reasons. The one is like they have been rewarded for their behavior. Like, for example, we said, going to the store, you say, no, we're not going to have candy, and the kids are throwing a tantrum, and you say, okay, have a candy and stop crying. That it is rewarding the behavior. So you are teaching them that if they throw a tantrum, they're going to get what you say you won't. Yeah. They have copied us as parents. So we are the teachers, they are the students, and they are all eyes on us. So we know we're not perfect, but we're going to strive to do our best. And if we have taught them something and you're not living that way or acting that way or thinking that way, you really believe that yelling at somebody is not a good way to treat people, and that they see you have to recognize and in front of them that that's not what you taught them. And you're going to express, oh, I need to be more patient with people. I have to even sleep more so for them not be so cranky, because they're going to do the same thing. They're copying you. So when they're doing something wrong and they're in front of you, then they will say, oh, mom or dad, I'll be more patient. Exactly what you said, they're going to see it. They are testing whether their parents will enforce the rule. Because that's what it is. Even if we are adults, that's what we do, and we mention the traffic signs that sometimes we don't want to follow. And we test on 50 miles per hour in a 4 miles per hour area. We're testing there. Oh, it's not cut. Let me do it again. So it's a nature. It's our nature. So for the kids, it's the same. And you have to be consistent. If you say we're going to go to bed at 8:30, have to be 8:30. So if you say, just go at 9:30, then you are changing and they're learning that you will be changing and they will be pushing more. But if you are consistent, they know that no, even they weren't going to try many times because they know that well, 8:30. Okay, you're not sleepy, but you're going to be in bed. So also they're asserting themselves under independence. So comes the teenager with their independence, and they're maybe talking to you in a tone like they're talking like a friend. Then you have to say, I know that you feel, like you're a teenager, but I am your parent, and this is not the tone to talk to a parent. And if you want to say that, this is the way you say it to a parent. Or a 3-year-old, a lot of words now that they have learned so many ways of saying, or what impact of saying no does. So let's go to bed. No. And you say again, okay. I know you're growing and you know a lot of words now, and you want to keep running around and playing because it's hard, but this is a time for bed, and we're going to go to bed. They're protecting themselves. Sometimes you know it's in school or somewhere place somebody is bullying or harassing, and when that happens, please just anyway, we have to spend time with our kids to know all those things. They're not going to come maybe to us to say it. But when you spend time with your kids at least 15 minutes, you're going to see things and traits of anger and disappointment or sadness that they're not going to say with words. And 6, they feel bad about themselves. Because maybe the parents are saying, why you're not like your brother or your sister? Why you're so slow? Or different things, that we say it, and those are things that they're taking as a fact because they're not having that filter of being an adult. You say, oh, I know he didn't do that. As a children, they take it as a fact. So we have to watch our words. We can be disappointed, but we have to watch our words because those words are going to have an effect in those children or in anybody. So let's go to start with the prevention tools. We're having 17 of them. And they're going to provide you the opportunity to stop the misbehavior before it starts. So you're going to see and feel, and there's signals that are telling you, and you are going to start preventing. We're going to have 5 of them. 5 tools. One, we're going to start with changing our attitude, then teaching values and behavior, changing the situation, increasing security, and also to strengthen self-esteem. Let's get one by one. So changing your ways of thinking about the misbehavior, and this is at any age of your children. First of all, we have to know about the milestones. Those one are the one that are going to understand. Information is going to help you understand the stage of your child. Milestones are behaviors and thinking and involvement with the surrounding at each age. And so, in general, 3 years old are going to be physical, like growing physically this way, emotional this way, how they're going to interact with people this way. So every age has kind of like a guideline that will help you to understand, okay, that doesn't mean that it is in stone. No, it could be they're more advanced or that, but it will help you in general to know the behavior in different ways of that child. That helps us to understand what they are and also to notice if they're behind so we can act quickly and get the resources to help. with a child. If the child is almost 3 and they cannot hold a spoon firmly, then we know that at that age, they should be picking up the spoon and putting their mouth and things like that. So, and that allows us to allow the children to do what comes naturally, what is expected for their age and the ability and the temperament. Allow children to be imperfect. When we understand that, we allow them to be imperfect like anybody else, to make mistakes, and to experience setbacks. And so we are going to see that maybe you serve the milk or any liquid, and every time your child is spilling the liquids, milk, water, juice. And if that happens, then it's just like the mind and the space is not, the mind is not perceiving the space where the children is moving their arms. So 3 or 4 years old, that happened because I grow up quickly. And so it takes a little bit of time of that spatial perception. So what we do is, instead of putting the cup on the left or the side, you're going to put it in front of the plate. If they see it, they drink it, and they put it back. They're going to turn back to put it back in the side. So you know what's going to happen. So you tell them, I want that cup to be in the front. In practice, because it takes a lot of time to practice and get what we want. Of course, we are not going to accept behaviors that harm others or is deliberately being disobedient. So parents do not get angry that their toddler is not being quiet. Do not get frustrated when they see their teen's moodiness, because if you see on those ages, that is what's going to happen. They realize that the temperament is part of the adolescent adjustment to the dramatic change that is happening in their lives. So if you read the milestone for kids in preschool or before 0 to 4, they cannot be still for more than 15 minutes. So when I was teaching preschool and kindergarten, the circle time have to be no more than 15 minutes. After that, the brain cannot handle to be still. So what are you going to do if you're going to a place that is more than 15 minutes? Bring something to compensate and to bring activity to the brain. Could be coloring book, could be a puzzle or something, some kind of game that they will be involved after those 15 minutes. And so the same with the adolescents, the teenagers. You're going to read in the mouth something that's going to be moody, like we did when we were teenagers, because we forget how we were. Someday, I feel like I'm an adult. Sometimes, nowadays, like I feel like I'm a child, and so the moodiness is there. So you're going to say, okay, I told my kids when they have those moodiness moments, I say, could you please go outside and just be with nature and come back, or because you're really moody today. And so they say, no, I'm not moody. It's like, just go take a walk around the house or something, like come back in it, because you understand that you understand and you're going to be patient and understanding instead of like yelling Why are you so mad? And why are always, those always and never, that kind of put more fire in the situation. So we're going to change our thinking, reading their milestone of where this child is at right now. Allow minor misbehavior. So do not respond to a misbehavior if you have more important goals you want to accomplish. Avoid responding in such a way as to imply approval. Continue to watch the problem in case it becomes extreme or distressing to others. And confront the misbehavior when it's less critical. For example, you have told the children, we're not going to jump on the bed. But if you did that when you were a child, remember the cool sensation of jumping on the bed? If you didn't have a trampoline, I didn't have a trampoline, but it was kind of the same. But there are risks on that on falling. One time I fell in between the bed and I don't know what else, and I dislocated my arm. But we were taught and told to not do that because there could be some harm on it. So, but if you see that your children have been on each other all the whole week and fighting, you have to intervene so many times, and then on Saturday you hear them giggling, jumping on the bed, and they know that they shouldn't be doing that. What the suggestion here is, okay, they know that minor misbehavior happening. And what the parent will do is like, okay, they're having fun. Everything's fine right now. You wait like a minute for that relationship between the siblings, to continue, that is fun and it's nice. And then, like, you go softly and say, hey, are you jumping on the bed? I said, well, you know what? Remember, somebody can be hurt here on the floor, on the ground, on the floor. Let's stop this and let's go outside and play. Okay. And so it is something that is a nice way to stop that minor misbehavior in a nice way, instead of coming like getting the belt and being rude or being very angry, because they're supposed to know that, versus coming the other way. That shows the kids that, oh yeah, we did something that we're supposed to. But wow, how nice my dad or my mom was, with us, inspiring, even when we did this. And that love for the child will grow more because they saw your patience and you didn't come so harsh. Or for example, they were outside. You send them outside to play. And so when you see them, that in a hot summer, they open turn on the faucet, and then with the hose, spraying water to each other and having fun. But you know that your bill is coming kind of high. Then you tell them, hey, I know how much fun is this. I remember when I was a kid. But we cannot, play with the water. The bill came very high. So we need to be careful with how much we spend the water and how. Please turn it off and let's find something more to play. Instead of like yelling, so many things that we could say. And that is showing the child remember the gift that we took at the first lesson? The understanding of that is fun. They're doing it because it's fun. And the patience of explaining and not coming so harsh and so angry, and all of those gifts, don't forget those. Those are actions that you have when you act upon those, are gifts for the kids. And so the next one, teaching values and behavior, we have to demonstrate the behavior ourselves. That shows children what to do if they are familiar with the behavior. And when they see us, like when we are happy and when we are disappointed, for example, when the father becomes frustrated and angry, he talks about how he's feeling. I'm so disappointed with this car. I fix it, and whatever, something that you can share. Sometimes you're talking about your supervisor is not good in front of your kids, and you express your frustration. And so instead of coming and you saw like saying bad words or taking on the kids or on the wife or on the husband, we're expressing our feelings because this is how they're going to do it when they're in that situation. Instead of like saying bad words or breaking things, I'm going to copy like what my parents do. And if I copy something else, they're going to say, hey, this is not the healthy way to express your anger. Another one to teach values and behavior is telling a story to make a point. Read or tell stories to children to help them understand why something is important. Let the story make its point as you tell them. Just remember that children may not always hear what you felt was important. For example, the grandmother tells the granddaughter about the problem she had when she began to have a boyfriend when she was the granddaughter's age, or things like that. Anything that you have gone through and your kid is doing, share it. I shared with my daughter when we were playing board games. That is a very good activity. Many conversations out of the blue come. And she said, oh, math, hate math. I said, hey, tell me more about that. Oh, I don't like the geometry class, I don't understand, and blah, blah, blah. And I told her, oh, I remember when I was in high school. It happened to me too. That math, it is, I don't know what it is. I cannot, when it's like things like A, B, when they use like, not numbers, something else, I don't get it. And I know my teachers will teaching me again and again and again. But it was like when they left, they took all that they taught me because I was in zero back then. And so telling her that instead of showing empathy and understanding, I know what you're going through. And I said, well, I think maybe if I need a tutor or one of your friends are good at it, they can help you. And so looking for maybe situations, sometimes just telling this what situation is. Teaching values and behavior, giving specific instructions. Remember, all of this is to prevent. Prevention is all what we're going to talk today. For example, when your child does not know the rule, tell him what to do. Be clear on what you expect from him or her. So you want them to do something, be specific. Bring everything in detail. You want them to clean the room, that is kind of like too big. And for some ages, that is too much. Even for myself, when I go to my children's room, it's like, oh, I don't know what we're going to start with. Can you imagine for a child? So then there are 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. Want them to organize the room a little. So you're going to maybe make a list. Let's start with your bed. Then second, let's start with the floor close to the closet or the floor close to the drawer, and things like that. So it's very, very detailed. That will prevent to have a outburst of anger and tantrums and things like that. If this is too much. So very specific detail. So of course, you're not going to have the same details for a teenager, because they know if you say, okay, let's work on the floor, or let's work on your bed, let's work on the floor. You don't have to go the floor beside the closet or the floor beside it, because you understand, okay, that the 14 years old, they have understood a lot of things. So excessive use of this tool can create uncertainty and may overwhelm with a constant control for the parents. To give advice, but you don't be constantly on top of them. You're not going to give instructions to a teenager, like a little one, because that tells them, like, you're treating me like a little kid. I know what to do this. And that doesn't prevent problems. That will create problems. So depends on the age is how you're going to do this detail instructions. Teaching values and behavior, prepare your child for difficult moments. When the children have to go through a problem that cannot be changed or avoided, provide him with information on how to handle the situation. For example, a child of 4 years old is going to help you choose a toy for the birthday of his cousin. The mother makes sure your child understands that this is the only toy that she will buy, because there's a purpose. It's for the cousin's birthday. So they know this is what we're going to do. We're not going to have more toys for you or for anybody else. For example, another one is the death in the family or friends. Is preparing for a difficult moment. When your grandma passed away or an uncle that they love passed away, and you have to sit down with them and explain. Don't allow anybody else to explain. You don't say anything because you don't want to make them sad. But then the neighbor tells, hey, I heard that your grandma passed away. And oh my God, that will be a problem. So any difficult moment have to be taught. Home, preparing. Yeah, they're going to be sad if you say it, but you're going to tell them we're going to be together in this. And everything has to be done together in that situation, because it's difficult. Or moving to another place. It will be hard to hear that a neighbor say, hey, I hear that you're moving in a month. And I said, no, I'm not. Yes, you do. And then the son is, oh, no, I have my friends here. I'm not going anywhere. So it's very true coming from the parents. Hey, in a month, we're going to do this place. I checked it. Schools are very good and you're going to have friends. And so that process of grief is going to be handled from home and together, and not like having surprises and getting the information from somewhere else. But very simple, another person picking them up from school. There's a change of plans. You have to tell them. And they will feel that everything that is happening to them or difficult time, you're going to be there as a parent. Preventing problems. Another one is catching your child being good. Respond immediately with affection and encouragement when the child or children have done something worthwhile. These are deposits you make in the relationship bank account. They did something. Remember that we tend to go for the negative. Let's change our focus on positive, and you are going to see that the misbehavior is going to be less and less. So, you went to their room in the morning and they moved the bed. Oh my gosh, look at this. Oh, love how the bed looks like that. It's so pretty. And when you come back from school, you are going to have a room with the bed that is so relaxing. Anything. You saw that your one of the child served the milk for the little one, and you said, "Wow, that was very helpful." And then you have to say what they did. Nothing general. Oh, wow, that was nice. What? When they're little, you're going to say exactly what you saw. It's like a camera. You're a camera. You're describing exactly what happened. That was very helpful. You pour the milk to your brother. Catching them being good is going to help them feel good about themselves and are going to be less problems. We have the caveat here. Be aware, too much reinforcement can cause the children to pay more attention to the reward than developing internal values for their behavior. So you're going to do that, but not for every little thing, because the purpose of being or having good actions is going to be kind of switch to the reward. Oh, I like that reward. No, it is something that is, everything in balance. Teaching values and behavior, give progress report. When child take positive steps toward a long-term goal, take them aside and talk about their progress achieving the goal. This recognition is healthy, and many of us appreciate when we receive it for anything, even as an adult. I am proud of you for, and then you say the reason. I'm proud of you for reading your book, even if your friends were playing, you went to finish and be ready for school the next day. That I am very proud of you for that. I am proud of you for being patient with your sister. That I know that she is insisting on things, and when you say no, you work patient, telling them why. And so there are ways that that all of this is preventing and helping us to feel better as a child. One of the next one, and this is, they have some ages there, and those are like the ages that they will are more prone to accept what you're trying to do. So 5 to 18. Although if this is in anything, you can say a 3-year-old, I'm very proud of you because we went to the store and you remember that we're not going to get that candy, and you were okay with that. So those are giving the progress report, and before she was throwing tantrums. Let's go to change the situation. And this is at all ages. Children are sometimes seduced into misbehaving when they cannot resist the temptation to explore something that looks interesting. Warning will do little good. All that we have to do is removing the object or the people, or rearranging the environment to prevent that powerful misbehavior. For example, children playing with the outlets when they're little. That's why we have hovers for that. Or the glass object. As a little child, it is fascinating how things look, or oh, shining. Let me touch it to see why it's shining, and then it's touching your trophies, touching your glass figurines and stuff like that. Even leaving, you have your laptop and just like the keyboard. Sometimes I make a little soft noises, and it's like, oh, let me try. I remember my my granddaughter, when she was 2, and then or 3, and then she was doing that, and then oh, what is the noise coming from? So she was taking each um, little letter, lifting it up, so it was popping it up, like oh, because like how, where's that coming from? Those are like curiosity and looking like why this is that way. Why um, if you put something in the outlet, what will do? Or even, if you have guns at home, you have to have that in a safe place, because maybe you train well your children, but maybe you have a friend, and the conversations, with one, oh, yeah, we gotta have a gun. Oh, can I see it? No, we cannot. We cannot see it. We cannot get close to it. Oh, well, we're going to just look at it. We're not going to touch it. And there you go. There's some kids that are more, insisting and okay, yeah, we're going to see it, but not going to touch it. And that's when accidents happen. Or there's a fear, sometimes face for boys that they love, or even girls, fire. It is cool, to just click uh, the word, the one I use, people that smoke and stuff, or candles. When we're doing the fire pit, to be careful, because they like to take some branches or whatever you put there and look at it. And so fire is awesome when it's like in the place that should be. But candles, to watch if your child is kind of seduced by that, and just hide their matches and stuff like that. So change the surrounding when you see that there's some seduction of touching things or do things that could be harm. Another changing the situation is change the activity. When we have spring break, winter break, summer break, the children are not anymore in the structural school. So they are home and sometimes are used to that structure of hours and different activities from the beginning of the day until they get out of school, and they come home and there's like more freedom. And it is good that for 1 or 2, but when it's the 2 or 3 months at home in summer, then you have to be prepared with activities. When children are about to misbehave out of boredom or fatigue, immediately introduce an interesting but acceptable activity. To use this tool effectively, parents have to detect a potential problem quickly and be in a position to introduce an alternative. So, for example, you are going to a trip, and during the trip, parents play with children to look for different license plates, or if they're little and they're into the words, let's find the words, the different signs, things like that. Always an activity. And in the internet, if you Google activities for children, you're going to have a long list. You don't have to think from scratch at the different situations. Changing the situation, physically redirect from 2 to 4. Physically channel a child's movement away from a potential problem to a place where she or he can engage in a more acceptable activity. This spontaneous steering is proper only for young children, as we know. So it does block the kitchen entrance and move the kid to the living room. Because if there's activity in the kitchen, it's better not to have a child unless you are including them in a task that it's age appropriate and is with you all the time. We're going to change to increase security. And this is at any age. Move physically closer. When children may lose self-control and misbehave, come closer to them. The physical presence may reduce the temptation to misbehave, but your presence should be warm and friendly. And that is very effective. For example, a father asks his daughter to do her homework at the kitchen table while he washes the dishes. So, but with a distraction, and she has to finish her homework, you with me in the same place. The parents of a 15-year-old child are concerned about the alcohol being brought to her party. So the parents remain home during the party and are visible while being careful not to intrude. So you are close to the child in that activity. Increasing security, provide reassuring routines. Sometimes children behave badly due to the changes in your life that brings tension. We have so many things happening in our lives, and the children sometimes they feed from that. When you have to interrupt this routine, provide experiences that bring peace of mind. For example, parents make time for have breakfast with their children before he goes or she goes to school, or at least one of them gives them a hug. So those routines of saying goodbye, saying hi when they come back, eating together, having a snack at night before sleep, or any of those routines that keep that inner peace going. When we had COVID, then we were so uncertain of what was going to go next day. But kept the families going was the routines that were happening at home. We were going to have breakfast at this time. We're going to have lunch this time. We're going to have dinner this time. We're going to get in a shower this time. Like nothing is happening out there. The routine in the house, that movement of activities, and we continue. And that's what kept us safe emotionally. Out there was a chaos, but inside of the house, it was the same as always. And that kept us feeling secure of us as emotionally. Also providing transitions, ages 3 to 8. When a young child has to be moved from a busy to a quiet activity, introduce an experience that prepares them for the change. For example, James, parents give them a light snack at the kitchen table before going to bed. So he doesn't want to go to bed because they want to keep playing, but that transition's okay. We're going to bed. No. Well, you're going to go to bed. Let's have your snack that you like to have it first. Like with my son, before he goes to bed, he likes to eat yogurt. So when he knows, I say, hey, it's time for a yogurt, he knows that after that comes brushing the teeth and go to sleep. Actually, get in the shower, brushing the teeth and go to sleep. And that is a transition that he has for something that maybe he doesn't want to go to bed. But it's quiet time for this example, Jamie helped her to go to sleep faster and not fighting. So you have to go to, you realize that you have to go to the store because you're short or something. And your children are playing with Lego or, you know. So as soon as you notice that you have to change that activity, they're going to say, hey, in 15 minutes, we have to go to the store. I'm going to put a timer. And when the timer rings, it is time for you to put the Legos away or to stop what you're doing and put your shoes on. And then we go. And versus when you say, hey, everybody, put the shoes on. We have to go. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, no, no. I just making this ship. I cannot leave it like that. And then, no, 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 we have to go. And that is like, it's not preventing problem, it's creating problem. So giving that transition and that warning ahead of time helps to prevent problems. Strengthening self-esteem is, remember, everything that brings that strong self-esteem is going to avoid problems because they feel good about themselves. You have provide that security, emotional security, and physical security, and they are more attached to you, and they're not going to do things that they will do with parents that they don't care or they feel they're disattached for them or they don't show love. So when you think your child will begin to behave badly, ask him to tell you what they are doing and what they have. This discussion could distract him from the discussion, the misconduct. For example, ask her to show a toy and ask how you play and how does it work. You know, so it's kind of like, what are you doing? They have a toy that they're fighting for. It's like, oh, okay, let me see the toy. And how do you play with this toy? And okay, let's take turns because sounds like it's fascinating, but playing with these toys is fun. And that is kind of helping them to stop the misbehavior, and just like that interest of the parents are showing to the child is going to bring the self-esteem. Okay, let me see how we do here. What are you doing? How this kind works, or whatever you want to say, but it's just that interest of what they're doing. It's kind of like, okay, then if it's a problem, then you say, okay, let's take turns because both of you want this. Let's 5 minutes, 5 minutes we're going to do this, and 5 minutes, you can have it when he's done. And that interest that will help them in that situation. Another one is providing real affection. Express unconditional positive feeling for children. Tell them of your love. Give them hugs and affectionate touches. Some kids are not into hugs and kisses, but still you can verbally say, wow, you have been so nice with your brother. I am so proud of you, like you are studying so hard. Or sometimes just like a pat in the back, something that some kids they don't like too much touch, Others doesn't have a problem. And you have to say that, I love you when you're sad, when you're happy, when you're scared. Yes, even when you're angry. I love you anyway. And I remember situations with my kids. That we can have a rough night or a rough day, and then at night I'll say, I love you. I love you anyway. I love you when you scream, and I love you when you were not nice, and I love you when I had to put you in time out or take your phone away. I love you. And they were like mad. No, I don't want you to love me. Well, we cannot do anything about that. I love you. I love you when now, and when I love you when I will be very, very old. Yeah. And even if they don't want to hear that, you say it and you say it, with sincerity and transparency, and you say it constantly, so they know that he's not saying that to try to, make me happy or something, get close to me. No, this is the way that is. And you say it different times, not just in times when they're difficult. But kids needs to know that the affection and the love they have from the parents. And as the last one of strengthen the self-esteem, enjoy each other. Become involved as a partner in their activities. Respond to their interests, but avoid taking over. Participate in a child's play as an equal. For example, parents take time to play with a preschool child in a sandbox. The mom goes rock collecting with her son during the trip for the beach. The parents play basketball with their teenager. Not as a competition, I'm going to do better than you. No, they're children. And when they like, for example, to play at their level and help them or help yourself not to overtake what activity. The children leads the game, leads the play, and you follow. And they're going to be more exciting than you decide, like, no, this is not how you play. But don't you see that he's coloring a face that is blue? You don't have blue faces. How do you feel if your parents are telling you that as a child? At some ages, they're going to color their faces blue or green. It doesn't matter. Later on, they're going to learn the color of face. So just enjoy what they're doing. Just follow the lead. If they ask you for help, then you do it. They're playing basketball and whatever they want to play. And they say, well, it's hard to dunk the ball. And you say, okay, let me check. You can check my technique. And then you try, and then he copies. So, but it was an advice that he asked. And it is easy that way. And they want to play with you back again. Some kids would say, well, the person, let's play. And they're like, no, I don't want to play. No, I don't want. Something happened that a child felt like playing with the parents were not enjoyable. So we had to watch ourselves of not being there to criticize them or to say, no, this is another way. Just let them be and you follow. At some point in life, they're going to do it and say, oh, yeah, this is the way that is, and then you keep playing the way that they learned. And it's the best way to do it. So we enjoy each other. Find activities to do as a family. You don't have to have money. Just walk together. Do a nature walk. What on your neighborhood you to say. Play board games together. There's a lot of benefits of playing board games as a family. And if you would like to know more, I have a program for that. And we have board games in the community for the parents and the whole family to come. And sometimes like, wow, we like this board game. And if they have the means, they find it. And every events that we have a drawing for board games. But if you're not in the area here in Wichita, I can give you information on how to do it with your family or in the community if you want to start something. But something that has to be together. Not for fighting, not for competition, just to enjoy. And when you see one of your children trying to quarrel, you have to say, hey, this is a moment for being nice. We have to be nice with each other. This is a special moment. And I want you to enjoy it. And so on. So next week, we're going to do the techniques when the problem happened. You prevent it, and you did a lot of things as a teacher, but sometimes we're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. And when that happens, there's other techniques to help you as a parent with your children. But before we finish, there are activities to reflect. And this one is recall a time in your childhood when your parents thought you misbehaved. After looking over the prevention tools, select those you think they used or could have used to prevent a problem. Think about when you're a child and you misbehave and what they did. And another activity to reflect your prevention skill. Consider how effectively you can use each of the discipline prevention tools. What are you good at? And where do you need to improve? Choose a tool you would like to use more effectively. Write the name down on an index card or a paper, and in the other side, when and how you to use it. If, for example, you've noticed that one of the techniques was like the figure affection, and you're not doing that, then write down, this week I will practice on the real affection. Sometimes a little hug or just a pat in the back, or even just noticing them, wow, you're growing so fast. I don't know where you were. I can feel you in my arms, and you touch your shoulders, and if they're older, and things like that. Sometimes maybe you were not raised on that. I knew that my parents loved me, but they were not affectionate. So they were busy. They're doing stuff, and I'm very affectionate. And so I want my children to have that kind of affection that I didn't receive. I knew that I was loved, but it was not showing that mattered. But it is very important. Simple touch. That from the word, even babies are premature, and they have to have it in the hospital. The parents are encouraged to touch, because touching it has an impact in the brain. So appropriate touch, of course. And also prevent the misbehavior. Write down 2 common examples of misbehavior by your children. Consider each of the prevention tools and how might you use them to prevent the problem. Take the tools you think are most appropriate and blend them together for a prevention strategy or plan. So remember, we're going to enter to the winter break. Please have a plan for your children. Spend time. You have 2 techniques there. Spend time for to have things together. If they have a problem in your home, come closer to them. So it will help you with this different for different situations, different tools. That's why we have a box of tools. For each situation, you have one. Sometimes we have only one tool, spanking, or yelling at them. And that doesn't work. You have to have different healthy tools for them to understand that this is inappropriate. If we don't do this, this is not healthy for you or for others. So I hope that this one helps you. At the end of all the lessons, I'm going to send you a QR code where you will have all the discipline techniques. And but for now, just write down 2 examples of misbehavior they had to work this week for this time, and purposely apply it. We say that we can have a lot of information, but if you don't apply, there's no action, there's no impact, there won't be any change. All right, well, this is the last one, and let's go to the evaluation link. As we say all the time, watch the video, complete the evaluation, and we are ready for the next one. See you the next time.